but sometimes it's very disrespectful. I think there's a lot of racism when it comes to it.
And yet, since she's joined the league as a rookie, she's been abused. She's been abused over and over again by these other players. And reportedly, it's a race thing.
Angel Reese finally getting suspended from the WNBA after her brutal racist assault on Caitlin Clark feels like a long overdue reality check. Ever since Caitlin Clark started dominating the court, Reese has been on some weird mission to sabotage her shine, whether it's through shady fouls, cheap shots, or straight up false accusations. There's a complaint about everything. This is insanity. This is all because they hate this little white girl. And now that her team didn't even make it to the playoffs, she thinks she'd calm down. But nope, this time she didn't just come for Caitlin. She came for her fans, labeling them as racists. Like, is there a new level of petty we're discovering here? It's almost like Reese is so focused on throwing shade that she forgot she's the one standing in the dark. But hey, no more ducking and dodging now, because the league's finally had enough and we've got the official statement to prove it. That many black women inside the WNBA are resentful that this white woman came in and is getting all this attention. Well, this rivalry is like the bad sequel to a movie no one asked for, but it keeps getting made anyway. Reese, for whatever reason, just cannot let it go. She's benched, not even playing. But apparently that doesn't stop her from keeping the drama alive. Nope, this time she's taking the fight off the court and straight to Twitter, because why not? If you're going to stir the pot, might as well do it in front of the whole internet, right? So here's what went down. Reese decided to back up Alyssa Thomas, who had already fired shots at Caitlin and her fan base, claiming some, let's say, uncomfortable things, but Reese, oh, she wasn't just co-signing Thomas's comments. She went all in, like hitting the gas with no brakes. She straight up called Caitlin and her supporters racist. Yeah, you read that right. In a tweet that spread like wildfire, she basically said, "We all know why they love her and hate me." Racism is alive. Reese is undeniably great at making herself the center of attention. All of this conversation around Indiana Fever fans, it's all just misguided over hatred of Caitlin Clark and pointing a finger at those guys. They're the racists when really why all are the racist, the people coming up with excuses to hate Caitlin Clark and the new fan base that she brought. Here's the kicker, though. This isn't even a new thing for Reese. The drama with Caitlin didn't just appear out of nowhere. This feud is basically ancient history in basketball terms. We're talking about multiple games, interviews, and now, of course, Twitter wars. It started as some good old-fashioned trash talk on the court. You know, just two players being competitive, but Reese, now she's taken it way beyond the hardwood. This isn't just about who's better at dribbling or scoring anymore. She's made it clear that it's about something way bigger. And in her eyes, it's all about who gets the spotlight and why. And she thinks race is playing a huge part in that. Caitlin Clark goes to work every day and plays basketball well, and she stays off of social media. She's not subtweeting, she's not doing all this. She's not doing any extracurricular things. And people are still involving her in drama that has nothing to do with her. Angel Reese's obsession with being the center of attention is like a never-ending reality show that no one asked for, but somehow keeps getting renewed. I mean, the girl is relentless, whether it's post-game theatrics, controversial interviews, or some spicy social media drama. Reese has perfected the art of grabbing attention. Remember that "you can't see me" hand gesture. She threw it. Caitlin Clark. Oh yeah, that was bold, brash, and instantly viral. The internet couldn't get enough of it for like 2 days, and then poof, gone. The internet moved on faster than a TikTok trend. And so did the media. What should have been this big career-defining win turned into a short-lived viral moment. And for all the wrong reasons. People were talking about Angel, but not because of her skills, more because of her extra behavior. She instigated this kind of stuff. Let's call it what it is. She was waving, she was doing the scene. How about what she did to Raven Johnson? She didn't just go into the lane and not guard her against South Carolina in the national semifinal. She waved her off. She didn't mind being disrespectful. And don't even get me started on the interviews that followed. You'd think winning a championship would be a golden opportunity to cement yourself as a legit star, but nope, Reese decided to go full drama queen. In an interview with Sports Illustrated, she casually claimed that people only tune in to watch the WNBA because of her. Yeah, the reason why we watch in women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too, and I want why all to realize that. Yeah, seriously. Like she's the Beyonce of the WNBA or something. No, she's not. Not only is that delusional, but it's also just plain wrong. WNBA viewership has been on the rise for years in newsflash. It's not because of one player, but once again, people talked about her for a few days, mostly laughing and then moved on because the actual person who's bringing the viewers and fan is Caitlin Clark. Exactly right. Just to put some meat on those bones via Forbes. Okay, they have the highest audience they've seen in 24 seasons, and the NBA games, televised games with Caitlin Clark's Indiana Fever, averaged 1.18 million viewers compared to 394,000 for all other games. There were a record 22 games that averaged over 1 million viewers, 19 of which involved Caitlin. Then there was that infamous Complex Sports interview where Reese tried to pull a misunderstood villain card. She's all like, I'll be the villain if that's what they need. Girl, no villains in sports only work when there's an actual plot behind them. Reese's version of the bad guy feels more like a Hail Mary to stay relevant than a well-crafted persona. I mean, yeah, being a villain can be fun. Look at LeBron during his Miami Heat era, but the difference, LeBron was dominant. He had the skills to back up his trash talk. Reese, on the other hand, hasn't exactly hit that level. It's like she's trying to wear the villain crown, but it keeps slipping because there's no solid game to hold it up. Yeah, negative things have probably been said about me, but honestly, I'll take that because look where women's basketball is. People are talking about women's basketball, but you never would think that we talk about women's basketball. People are pulling up to games. We got celebrities coming to games, sold out arenas, like just because of one single game. And just looking at that, like, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role. And let's not forget her favorite go-to move, the race card. Now, don't get me wrong. There's absolutely racial bias in sports. That's not even up for debate, but Reese's timing with her comments feels like a deflection. Like when people criticize her for taunting Caitlin after the NCAA championship, she quickly spun it into a conversation about race, saying if Clark had done the same thing, no one would have cared. Is there truth in that? Probably. Society definitely views confident black women differently than white women, but let's be real. It wasn't just what Reese did. It was how over the top she made it. By immediately making it about race, she shut down any real conversation about sportsmanship, turning the whole thing into a black and white pun intended debate that overshadowed everything else. Angel Reese is nothing. All right, so let's talk about the media circus. A lot of these big name voices are calling Reese out for exactly what her actions look like. A desperate grab for attention. The king of never holding back, Stephen A. Smith. You know, if Stephen A. has something to say, he's not sugarcoating it on his First Take show. He wasted no time calling out Reese's antics. And what did he say? That all this drama she's stirring up is nothing but a massive distraction from what's actually important, basketball. She's got talent, he says. But when are we going to talk about her game? And honestly, he's got a point. Like, when's the last time we talked about a great play Reese made? Instead, it's always about what she said, who she called out, or what drama she stirred up on Twitter. Stephen basically said, girl, stop talking and start playing. She's just crying because Caitlin proved herself better. But keep your spirits up because you're at a decisive advantage, Angel Reese. You're at a decisive advantage because they made the mistake of letting you know who they are. But wait, Stephen wasn't finished. He went even deeper, suggesting that this whole obsession with Caitlin Clark, yeah, it's not about basketball anymore. If this was just about the game, it would have ended months ago, he said, which, let's be real, is the truth. This feud should have died down with the final buzzer of the championship game, but Reese keeps it going like it's some soap opera we're all stuck watching. And Stephen A. is calling her out for it, saying this constant stirring of the pot is doing more harm than good, not just for her, but for women's basketball in general. Don't you know she's a black queen? You don't question black queens. You pander to them, you worship them, you venerate them, you do not question. Don't you understand that they are the modern-day Jesus Christ of America? Black women, the Yaz queens, hear them roar. Just exhausting. And then enter Jason Whitlock, never one to hold back, a brutally honest take on his fearless show in June 2023. He didn't even pretend to soften the blow. He flat out labeled Reese as racist, like there wasn't even a discussion to be had. Whitlock did not hold back and said that Angel and other players who hate Caitlin think of themselves as God who could do whatever they want. We're not allowed anymore to show the #1 draft pick in the WNBA draft as opposed to Angel Reese, a woman who can't run. I mean, next time you watch Angel Reese play, yes, she can play. She's a good player. She can't run. But we're not allowed to show the #1 pick in the draft, the most dynamic player, including everybody. Why? Well, because it's racist. Yes, it's racist, according to the idiots. Now, let's talk about Clay Travis, the guy who lives for calling out hypocrisy. Travis didn't hold back when it came to Reese's favorite talking point, her accusations of racism. Travis went right for it, calling it a deep trick she's using to deflect from criticism. His argument, Reese isn't being called out because she's black, she's being called out because of her behavior. And there's a huge difference. Travis pointed out that Caitlin Clark, who's white, has gotten her fair share of hate too. Let's not pretend like Clark's had it easy, he wrote, highlighting that Clark faced her own backlash after dominating the 2023 NCAA tournament. According to Travis, this isn't a race issue, it's a personality issue. And Reese is just playing the race card to dodge any accountability. What she's really doing is following the playbook. It didn't go well for me. White girl is successful. White girl more popular. White girl must be bad. Bad white girl. We see it in politics with bad orange man. And of course, your fans are racist. You racist. Damn it. And finally, we arrive at the ever opinionated Skip Bayless, who has always had a lot to say. On his Undisputed show in July 2023, Bayless suggested that Reese's constant need to take shots at Caitlin Clark reveals something a little deeper, her insecurity. It's obvious, Bayless said. She can't let this go because she's insecure about her place in the game. And honestly, that might be the real tea here. Bayless argued that Reese's nonstop obsession with Clark, even months after the fact, is less about competition and more about feeling threatened by Clark's success.